this is Jay Noller coming to you with episode 2 of Oh Beach Please Live. I'm your host for today, owner of 208 Travel Agency. And as promised, we're going to feature an expert from one of our top travel resorts, cruises, or destinations from around the world each week. Now, this week's episode will be no exception. I wish, we're still new at this. I wish I had some sort of drum roll or sound effect or dramatic music that would equal who we have today. We have the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew from Uniworld River Cruises. Matthew, how are you doing today?
Hi, Jay. Great. Thank you very much. That was a great
I want to make sure you feel welcome and as excited as I am to be on here. So, I hope the intro goes really well.
Thank you very much. I'm sitting on our beautiful super ship Beatrice on the Danube.
I was concerned that we wouldn't have the appropriate background. So I did do a little bit of research and I want to make sure I'm getting this right. And you'll have to correct me, but Harry's Bar and Lounge on the SS Peninsula. How am I helping out here?
Super ship La Venezia. And you know what? Jay, we are the only river cruise line that cruises in the Venetian Lagoon and the Grand Canal in Venice. And much to everybody's dismay, Italy is still the #1 destination for Americans. And what a great way to see Venice than on your floating boutique hotel on a Uniworld ship. And that's a brand new ship too, the super ship La Venezia. She was transformed during the pandemic. So she's just beautiful.
I'm very excited. Believe it or not, I think you and I chatted a little bit. We have 3 clients that are going on it next year. So very excited. And obviously I know all about river cruising. I love river cruising. I think it is an amazing experience that not enough people do, but I'd like to hear your take on, kind of river cruising and kind of what sets it apart from your typical ocean voyages. And then also all inclusives, because I think that people really kind of see them as the same. So if you could walk us through that, that'd be great.
You bet, Jay. As a matter of fact, river cruising is hot. I think of people a little bit apprehensive to get on 5,000 and 7,000 passenger ships, and our average capacity is anywhere between 78 and 110 passengers. Now, of course, some of our ships, we have about 19 ships throughout Europe, and some of our ships will hold up to 126, 128 passengers. And that's if you put 2 people in every room. But we have a lot of singles that travel with us because unlike some of the other river cruise lines, we waive the single supplement on many departures throughout the year. As a matter of fact, through the rest of 2024, we have waived the single supplement for many of our cruises throughout Europe. And that's big bucks because you know what? When you're a single person traveling alone, you pay twice as much as everybody else. And you do because you're taking up the whole room yourself. So we've waived a lot of the single supplements for a lot of the dates for 2024. All-inclusive river cruising. Uniworld is the most luxury and all-inclusive river cruise in the business. And all-inclusive, what does that really mean? It means all your gratuities are included on board. You're not stuffing an envelope at the end of the ship with tipping for your cabin attendant or your front desk or your butler or your maitre d' or the server at the restaurant, because tipping is all included with Uniworld. And all of our food is farm to table, locally sourced within 50 to 100 miles of where we cruise.
Wow.
And that means a lot, especially around the United States. There's a lot of foodies around the United States, and we have awesome food. Everything you place in your mouth on a Uniworld ship is made on that ship. We don't package it and then bring it on board from somewhere else. It's all made right there. And we also have complimentary unlimited beverages all day long, meaning wine and premium spirits. You're going to be drinking wine for the region you're traveling through. When you're in our Paris itineraries, you're getting those beautiful Bordeaux's and those reds from the southern part of France. And when you're on the castles along the Rhine itinerary, you're drinking those beautiful award-winning Rieslings that are awarded in Germany. And we also have, a lot of people say, oh, well, when I don't drink. Well, we have also non-alcoholic beverages such as beer and wine and those protein drinks and cafes, cappuccinos, lattes, anything you want. It's all included with Uniworld. I'd like to say you're not nickel and dime to death because we're all inclusive. Everything is included with Uniworld. Also, we have complimentary bikes on board, so you can actually take a bike off the ship and bike along those beautiful bike paths in Europe. And we have complimentary airport transfers from the airport to the ship and from the ship back to the airport. Those can run $200, $300, $400 per person. Complimentary laundry on board. Who does that? And if you get a suite, you get a butler. And our butlers were trained by the same company who trains Buckingham Palace butlers. So our butler is the real McCoy. And once again, we have multiple daily shore excursions. You have 2 to 3 to choose from every day. Sometimes you can do 2 in a day, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. And we have onboard fitness classes. We have state-of-the-art fitness facilities on board because we know fitness is important to our customers. And we're the only river cruise line who offers complimentary room service 24 hours a day. We have shipboard Wi-Fi. I was on a ship, and I'm not going to name who it was, but it was an ocean line, and I was charged $21 a day for Wi-Fi, but not with Uniworld because that's included. Whether you're in your top deck, in your stateroom, in the lounge, you're always going to stay connected while you unconnect while you're on a wonderful vacation on Uniworld.
Okay, Matthew, next time we do something like this, we're not doing it with virtual backgrounds and pretending like we're there. We're going to have to actually do it because I can tell you right now, it's springtime here. The weather's disgusting outside, and it sounds like an absolute dream to be able to get on one of these small boutique river cruises and explore your world with only unpacking one time. That sounds absolutely amazing with the different shore excursions and everything, but I have to ask, and I'm going to put you on the spot because I know as a representative, you're not supposed to have favorites, but you mentioned the shore excursions that are included. Which one is your favorite and why?
Oh, well, I got to say, I've really fallen in love with France over the last 10 years. We have 3 ships in France. We have one that goes Paris all the way up to Normandy beaches where D-Day took place. And on that itinerary, I'm going to give you more than one because I love 3 of them specifically. On that itinerary, we stop in Giverny where Monet had his homestead, where he was inspired with his water lily garden and did those water lilies painting.
Oh,
that
wow.
is an amazing shore excursion. Amazing. And then
I mean, I can learn something while I'm on these as well. It's not just all fun and games.
Absolutely. And we also have a ship that goes from the Rhine River, which is from Lyon to Avignon. We call it Burgundy and Provence itinerary. And on that itinerary, we have an amazing like a Guggenheim type museum that is in Lyon. And I just love that museum. It is full of the greatest works of art. And you have a modern side of Lyon, and then we have the old medieval side. And it's just gorgeous. And then as you cruise down the southern part of the Rhone River, you smell those lavender, because that's where all the lavender is grown in France. This is the southern part of France. And they have some of the best red Syrahs in the world. And we do several excursions to different wineries. And I'm a big red wine fan, so I love that.
I was going to say, I'm picking up on a theme here on your favorites.
Yes. And I got to say, in Bordeaux, our 3rd ship, we have one on the west coast of France. It's in Bordeaux, which does the Dordogne and the Garonne River. And it is a spectacular cruise where you have an opportunity to bike through the vineyards and the wineries and chateaus. There's over 7,000 chateaus in Bordeaux, and we have an opportunity to see many of them. And some of them are private, that are not open to the public and only open for Uniworld guests only. So it's a very exclusive experience. And just to talk a little bit more about our excursions, Jay, I got to tell you that our shore excursions are never going to be on a big coach with 60 or 70 people, City Hall on your left and park on the right. It is always an exclusive experience with Uniworld. That is not Uniworld. That is mass market. We are more exclusive and small sprinter motor coaches for 16 to 22 people, or a deluxe motor coach with 30 people. But they're very exclusive, and you're not going to get them in mass market excursions.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because a lot of times our clients, they talk about, they want to do the ocean liner experience where, you unpack and then you go to each location, but inevitably, like you mentioned earlier, I don't know if I want to be around 6,000 people or 1,000 people or 500 people. And it translates to the excursions, right? Like I've seen different cruise lines and stuff come in, especially in like Ocho Rios, Jamaica, where it's just this massive wall of people coming down, and there's people screaming at you for taxis, and there's people that are looking, hey, come on over here, over here. We've got the best tours. We got the best tours. This is a great product, and like I said, we've got clients that are getting ready to go with you guys on a couple of different ones. This is a great product because we spoke about that and we were able to say, look, it's an excursion, but we're not bringing people from the cruise lines. We're not bringing people from the hotels. It's a small private excursion. At this point, you probably know everyone that's going to be on this motor coach with you. And if you don't, you're going to know them by the time you get back to go to your next location when you go back to the ship.
Absolutely. And just to touch on your customers that are doing that Italy itinerary, we do something fabulous there because we park right out of St. Mark's Square. And in St. Mark's Square is one of the most famous basilicas in the world. And we have an opportunity to see that basilica. Usually people are lined up around the block to get into that basilica, but not with Uniworld. It's closed to the public and open for Uniworld guests only. We get to go inside and they do a light show of the gilded ceiling, the gold leaf ceiling, and you get to go behind the altar to see the over 1,200 gems that were sent to that Pope for congratulatory from leaders around the world. It is something that is exclusive and only available to Uniworld guests. And then I gotta tell you,
there's more.
We go under the basilica and we get to see St. Mark's tomb. And that is a very exclusive experience that is never open to the public, but open for Uniworld guests only. So that's just an example of our exclusive experiences and excursions.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. It really does speak to the Uniworld difference, which is that extra touch of luxury, because like you just mentioned, that's St. Mark's. Like, you can get a ticket, you can just, pay your money and go in. But with a Uniworld experience, you're getting all those touches that it's just those extra touches all throughout the ship, everywhere, everything from the farm to table on the ship to the exclusive excursions to even the exclusive experiences inside the exclusive excursions. There's going to be even more. And so I talk about you guys all the time as far as a great travel option going to Europe and really the world at this point. So, and I think this kind of leads into kind of what I'd like to talk about, but I'm going to obviously let you talk about it more, is what is that Uniworld difference that you would say? Because, the commercials all look the same. The internet ads all look the same. Pretty water, small boat, go here. What is kind of that big product differentiator between you and some of the competitors? Not naming names and being nice.
That's right. Well, I got to tell you, Jay, we have a name for that at Uniworld. We call them TNTs, tiny noticeable touches. And I tell you what, you recognize them throughout the ship. No matter if you're on board or off board, there's tiny noticeable touches. One of the things that I like to say about Uniworld is our ships. Our ships are all designed in the region we're traveling through. Remember, Uniworld was founded by the same company who founded Red Carnation Hotels. It's a family called the Tolmans. Oh, wow. And the Tolman found Red Carnation Hotels, which are little boutique hotels, about 20 of them around the world. You see one all the time and you don't even realize it. Every time they show a picture of Buckingham Palace, there is a little boutique hotel right next door called the Rubens. It's like 28, 32 rooms, and it's a tiny boutique hotel. And there's a leopard lounge in every Red Carnation hotel, and there's a leopard lounge on every one of our ships. And those tiny noticeable touches where we have great service, great food, is really the Tolman's way to make sure that everybody has an unforgettable experience. You deserve the best. That's our posture in everything that we do. You deserve the best. And some of the other differences between us and the other guys are all of our crew on our ships are employees. You know, on other cruise lines, they're on contract. They work for brand A for 6 months and then brand B for 6 months, but not with Uniworld. Our average tenure is 11 and a half years, which is a true testament in how the family treats the crew and the employees of Uniworld. They all love working for Uniworld, and I'm one of them, that's for sure.
You know,
But
so I know a lot of our clients, you know, that we talk about all the time, budget. It's one of the first things we talk about, right? Is, you know, how much do we have to spend? You know, where, what are we trying to get out of it? And I always come back to Uniworld because I feel like our client base always gets an amazing value for their dollar. And so as you're talking about all this, the TNTs and then the exclusive excursions and then the excursions inside the excursions, it is not as expensive as you think it is. And I'm just talking directly to clients. So Matthew, kind of plug your ears a little bit. When we're chatting about this, I like to do kind of cost comparison analysis for all of our 208 travel agency clients. And they come with these budgets and everything. And I like to put these guys side by side with anywhere else that you're going to be going, whether you think you're going for a hostel or whether or not you want to go for some of these luxury hotels that, you know, the Ritz and everything. Uniworld provides all of this, and you're going to feel good at the end of this. You're going to feel that you got a great value for your dollar spent. So when you come and talk to us, we talk itinerary, we talk sales. I mean, there's a sale going on right now. Make sure to reach out for us, or excuse me, to us, to be able to discuss it a little bit more. But you're going to feel when you go on these luxury river cruises with Uniworld, you got a great value. You're going to be okay with the prices that they have. And, you know, and Matthew can attest, like, this is excursion inside of an excursion, inside of this, inside of a TNT, inside of, I mean, you see the lounge that we're in right now, just as the background. And this is all included. There's no preferred areas. There's no secret little boutique little club lounges or anything. You really do get the full experience like everyone else does on the ship.
Absolutely. You know, I got to say, Jay, that, you know, Uniworld does make a huge difference in many other ways as well. One of the things is our sustainability. We have no single-use plastic products on any of our ships. No plastic knives, forks, spoons, plastic bottles. No way, not with Uniworld. And that's very sustainable, and it's very important to our customers in the United States as well. Once again, going back to our ships, all of them are unique. Everyone is decorated to the region they're traveling through, unlike some of the other brands where they have 82 ships that are exactly alike. So it is very, very different with Uniworld, and you feel like you're immersed in the destination when you travel on one of our ships. And exactly right, when it comes to value, there's something for everybody. We have suites, French balconies, deluxe French balconies, and just a classic stateroom. So depending on the time of year and the date that you want to go, you can go anywhere from $2,000 per person all the way up and more. And that's all inclusive. Everything's included with it. You're not constantly getting nickel and dimed on the ship by, you know, here's a vodka tonic, $17.50 or $20, or here's a glass of wine. It's all included with Uniworld. And it's not just with a meal, it's anytime you want. If you want to get up and start drinking Bloody Marys, that's totally up to you. Or if you want to get up and have that protein drink and then go for a good workout, that's up to you. It's just wonderful. And like I said, our staff is there to please, and we give the best service there is. We also have the family that has their private art collection on board all of our ships. It's not uncommon to sleep next to a Van Gogh or a Picasso or an Andy Warhol or a Matisse. And you think, wow, is that a copy or a fake? No, they're all originals. And that's really cool. Drinking, you know, when you're drinking those fine wines in the southern part of France, or you're in Porto and the Douro, Spain, Portugal, and the Douro River Valley, you're always going to drink out of a fine piece of stemware. You'll never drink out of a 99-cent Libby glass with Uniworld. And you have a wonderful, wonderful immersive experience with Uniworld. And like I said, everything is all included, and we're the most all-inclusive luxury brand out there at river cruising.
Yeah, there's nothing like trying to enjoy a couple fingers of brandy at the end of the night in a like a clear solo cup. Like, nothing speaks inclusion and luxury like a brandy in a solo cup. Um,
Let me just
you
talk about
mentioned,
entertainment for just a quick
oh,
second.
yeah, yeah.
I want to talk about our entertainment on board. A lot of people get on board a ship and the same person singing every single night, night after night. Not with Uniworld. We have singles, duos, trios, locals that come on board. Like when we're in our Paris itinerary, we have some of the Can girls come on board sometimes. We have a Moulin Rouge experience. It is really, really spectacular entertainment. And we also, this year in 2024, just to share with everybody, we have a 70s theme night. So if you want to dress up in 70s, everybody loves it. It is so much fun. And, just going back to the opportunities on booking with 208 Travel, I wanted to just say that through the end of this month, we have cruise savings that are up to $3,000 off. And we're having a sale because we've partnered with our airlines, because we know air to Europe is a little on the pricey side right now. And we've really contacted our preferred vendor relationships, and we have some great deals on some air to Europe. And we also have waived the single supplement on many itineraries for the rest of 2024. And then looking ahead to 2025, if you're booked up this year, if you're willing to pay in full at time of booking, you can take 10% off of next year's rate. So there's something for everybody, Jay. There's really something for everybody.
No, I know it was huge for our clients. And, I always tell people, like, look, if you're going to have the big expense of the air going over, because obviously we're coming from the United States and there's a giant ocean in the way, you might as well stay a little bit longer. So I know they're going for a couple of weeks, and then they're going to Rome, and then they're going to some extensions and doing some other great stuff. So no, and Uniworld's been absolutely nothing but fantastic to work with. But I did want to get into, because I promised 30 minutes, where I promised all our watchers 30 minutes. Groups, groups, and then my personal favorite that I'm trying to get scheduled for this year. Talk about some of the specialty cruises as well, with the understanding you have about 7 minutes, because
Right.
I know there's a lot, and I know there's a lot going on.
Well, so let's talk about that a little bit. So groups, it only takes 5 cabins to make a group. Why not take 5 cabins out and get a deeper discount than the retail rate? It really does make a huge difference. It only takes 5 cabins to make a group. And we do have many specialty cruises, but first of all, let me just state that we have about 36 itineraries in Europe. We do every one of the rivers in Europe: the Rhine, the Rhone, the Seine, the Saône, Spain, Portugal, and the Douro River Valley, which is hot this year. And Uniworld has the newest ship in the Douro. And Venice, we're the only one that does that. And then the Danube, of course, is a very popular itinerary. We have 2 ships in Egypt. A lot of people think that Egypt is Middle East. It is not. It's the northern part of Africa. It is very safe right now. People are getting rave reviews on our Egypt itinerary because there's no crowds there right now. It's hundreds and hundreds of miles away from the unrest that's taking place in the Middle East. And, a lot of Americans don't realize that, but we're getting rave reviews on our Egypt, and we have a brand new ship there called the Super Ship Sphinx. We also have our Vietnam itinerary, which does the Mekong, gorgeous ship, only 58 guests. And we also have the India itinerary, which does the Ganges, and a cruise tour, a tour portion that stays at Oberoi Hotels, the most luxurious hotels in India. And we also do the Amazon. So we really cover the world. We just don't have any ships in the United States because the rivers here aren't as beautiful as they are in Europe. They really are amazing. They're just gorgeous. And I got to say that we do have some specialty cruises, such as when you want to do a pre or a post extension on your river cruise to Europe or Egypt, you can do, or Vietnam, you can go to Ha Long Bay, you can do a pre or post in Paris. And we want you to purchase those with Uniworld, because you know what? The advantage of that, Jay, is We will take care of your transfers from the airport to your hotel, give you a tour and breakfast every day while you're at your hotel, and then from hotel to the ship. Seamless. You don't have to worry about anything. Just like your pre or post packages in Vietnam as well, Ha Long Bay or Siem Reap. We also have some pre and post packages for Athens on any Europe itinerary. You can go to Greece and Santorini. It's just amazing. The options are limitless, especially nowadays. Travel is big. People want to go, and we have the opportunity to make sure that they fulfill their dreams with Uniworld.
Absolutely love it, man. There's just so much going on. And then I'll kick you one final question here. And obviously, it's all about me. So in your opinion, what is the advantage of using a travel advisor, and why would you recommend, everyone using a travel expert to be able to help them with this?
Well, first of all, using a travel advisor makes everything seamless. They take care of all the details in regards to your air, in regards to their expertise, as well as their objective opinion, to really find out exactly what is needed for the customer. And if you have air problems in to or fro, who's going to take care of that for you? Your travel advisor. And your travel advisor is going to find the best value for you. And because 208 Travel is a preferred vendor with us, you also get the best in amenities when it comes to your river cruise experience with Uniworld. And not only that, nowadays it's important to find what maybe travel insurance. Do I need travel insurance? Talk to your travel advisor about that, because it's very important, especially nowadays, because we want to make sure everybody is covered, because you never know what may happen before you go on a trip. You want your costs to be covered for any reason. And so that's the perfect reason to use a travel advisor.
Thank you so much for fluffing my feathers. I feel like a very pretty bird right now. I appreciate it. For everyone that's out there watching, 208 Travel Agency, you have my promise. As long as my cell phone, as long as I'm awake, you'll always have my cell phone number, and you can call or text. If I'm awake, I will answer it. You're never going to deal with a call center. You're always going to have someone who's got the insider information on it. We've got some wonderful resources. I hate to say it, Matthew will not be giving you his cell phone number, but I have his. We've got some great resources to be able to help everyone else with. And then one final question. I know I final questioned you to death here. One final question. What's next for Uniworld? What should we do? Is there anything that we have on the horizon that's coming up that you can talk that you can talk about? I know there's always stuff behind the scenes, but is there anything that you can talk about as far as kind of what's coming up next?
Yeah, I'm really excited to share with you. I'm sure you've heard of a brand called Crystal Cruise Lines, and Crystal Cruise Lines did not survive the pandemic, and they went bankrupt. Well, they were just in the process of building some river ships. And I don't know if you know this about Crystal, but Crystal customers were very, very faithful to Crystal. It was a luxury brand. Well, Uniworld just acquired 2 of their newest ships, and we're very excited about that. Uniworld is really excited because these ships are not boutique ships. They're more modern and contemporary. So when I tell you that there's something for everybody, there really is something for everybody. It's called the Super Ship Victoria and the Super Ship Elizabeth. And then also what's exciting is what's next is we just announced within the last 2 weeks, we're going to do a brand new ship build in 2026, and she's going to be called the Super Ship Emily. And we're very excited about it. So stay tuned for more about that, because Uniworld does not believe in really filling our rivers with ships. We believe in transforming our present ships, or taking the metal from our old ships to build new ships. And so we're very excited about this opportunity, and we're doing a new ship build in 2026. So stay tuned to see where that goes. But for those of you who don't know this, if you've never river cruised before, the most popular first-time river cruise is Castles Along the Rhine, where you go from Basel to Amsterdam or Amsterdam to Basel, and you can see all those beautiful castles down the Rhine River. And it's just an amazing experience, that's for sure. So thank you for the opportunity, Jay. I really appreciate it.
No, thank you for the great information. I didn't know about this, the super ship Emily. That's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see where she's going to be taking our clients. And as promised, we are 30 minutes on the dot. Matthew, thank you so much for coming on today. I hope it wasn't too painful and we got through it just fine. So that way, as Emily comes on board and, or excuse me, comes online, we can absolutely talk to her about her a little bit more. So behalf of myself and Matthew from Uniworld Travel, this is Jay Noller with 208 Travel Agency and episode 2 of Oh Beach Please. And we look forward to seeing you on the river cruise. Take care.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you.